Thank you.
I was just saying it's a pleasure to be a part of this with you, Colonel. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here. So what do you go by, William or Bill?
So officially William. Billy is, usually what I go by. Bill's my dad, so I keep the Y.
Okay.
So, actually a funny thing about me, my name is William Robert Lynch, so my name is Billy Bob Lynch if you shorten it all out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's I fit the bill. But yeah, I was 6-year nuclear naval veteran. I served on the USS Ronald Reagan in the reactor plants. Obviously can't go into too much detail of like job functions and stuff, but that's where I got all my experience. It was one of those things that was extremely difficult to get through the training. And Luis, I watched your website, beingtrainable.com, and I couldn't agree more with the message there that what I went through with my training for, operating a nuclear reactor on a warship, you can find all that technical material online. What they did for me and everyone who passed that program was at an elite level taught us how to learn. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I had from my short time in the Navy. Was coming out to the civilian world, I'm willing to put my ability to learn something up against anyone. That doesn't scare me. So that's the big thing I took away from the military, and that's why I'm here. It's an opportunity to learn something new, and potentially, make a few bucks doing it. Won't hurt my feelings either.
You get to own your time as well.
That's a very good point. I was telling Lewis the other day. So I got out as an E5, which in the Army I think is a sergeant.
Right.
So I was a second class. And then when you have a division or a work center that you're in charge of, you can't give your people raises for high performance. You pay them in time. So you guys are doing great. You give them a Friday off, or just muster and go, and that's your bonus for that week. For doing a great job.
Yeah.
So one of the big messages when I was coming out, that I didn't even realize until after my first couple positions I had, was that time. Like I still value time over, obviously money is great, but as a veteran, being told that your time is yours is big, because it hasn't been yours for so long.
Right.
That's great. Share that one example you told me about and I apologize because I don't know. I mean, it was funny, but it's not funny. That job, the one job that you got.
Oh, okay. So my first gig I got, it was, not to knock any of the veteran recruiters. They do a lot of good work for people trying to get jobs, especially enlisted guys getting out. But there's an overwhelming, when I got out, there was a large mindset of the companies that were recruiting us was, you're used to working in a hellish environment for long hours. So here's this really difficult job for, excuse my language, shit pay. Do you accept this? And then a lot of guys fall into the trap and take the job and don't realize that there's you have a lot more opportunity out there, because you've been trained by the military to learn whatever you set your mind to you want to learn. You've been trained that. You have those skill sets.
Yeah, you know what I hear real quick? And I bring a civilian perspective.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What I hear real quick is, it's almost like you're trained to work under these difficult conditions, or whatever the conditions are.
Right.
But you wanted to be there, you're there, and you're serving our country. It's like you're serving America. Thank you very much. I'm willing to go, dig whatever I have to do during a mudslide or a fire here in Santa Barbara. Like this, it's service, right? And then you go to another environment and they want you to do the same grind, but hold on, it's for their profit, not yours. Go slow down. There's a difference between me doing this like what I will do to raise my kids is different than I will do to. I'm not raising adults. It's a job. Yeah, that's what I hear. That the different transfer, and that's how the Colonel and I mean, you were music to my ears because you kind of validate what he already knows and what I was seeing from my side of the world.
Right. Yeah, and so I didn't even tell the story. So basically, what I was saying, like what I was trying to get into, I'm sorry, was I fell into that trap of I ended up working for a company 7 hours a day, 12 days a week, hundreds of miles away from my family. I was like, well, this isn't tracking. This isn't why I got out of the military. And I realized like this is happening to a lot of guys. And so
12 hours a week. What job was that?
It was an automation. It was manufacturing for a large automotive company that I won't name. But I was operating their robotic assembly lines and doing maintenance on those, and they were always ramping up for something. So it was literally I didn't last long at 7 hours a day, 12 days a week, but I had a conversation with my manager about it. And this is what kind of got me thinking about it. It's left a bad taste in my mouth. He was just like, you're from your resume, you're used to much worse hours than this and much worse conditions. What's the problem? I'm like, well, there's a reason I'm not in it anymore. So I guess this isn't sustainable. Yeah. I didn't last long.
Yeah. And you made a good point, man. We're not invalidating, because that for a person who, let's say, I don't know, I don't want to say single or married, but that could work for someone else. That could work for someone else.
Right.
That could work for someone else. So what we're providing for people is not, this is the best way to go. Because quite frankly, it's not. There's, be born into wealth, that might be better. But even then, I know that's not either.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah. So this is an opportunity. It's not this is not, we don't want, I always want to make sure, and you guys seem to be the same way. It's like, it's not about invalidating all the other options that are out there. Power to them. But we know that this option works. So, Colonel,
well, there's something out there for everybody. It depends on what it is or what they want. And being a loan officer or a loan originator, this is a place for people that want their time. There's people that value their time. There's people that value time with doing whatever they want to do, and not so much have to say, hey, I'm working this 12-hour. I need to find out and figure out how much time I can get to be with my family, as well as be able to afford my basic needs if I'm not getting the kind of pay I'm getting. For anybody, William, to work 12 hours and probably even get paid as well as you were when you were in. So, but when I say that, I'm talking about working 12 hours in full-fledged labor when you could work less than that, and you're actually getting more value for what you're putting in, and you're being treated better.
Yeah, you're singing my song there. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to add about yourself, Russell? I mean, 44 years, retired, Army. That's
no, not right off the top of my head. I mean, I'll get going once we get engaged in further discussion here.
Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the. It's a PDF document. There's a video version of it. This will be another video version of it, and it's literally it's an introduction, man. It's an outline. It's a pathway. We like to call it the Lone Lions, the pride of America, because we just, I don't know, I like lions. I think you guys like lions, so I just pick lions because every home should have a lion, right? So it's like this. I'm inspired by that, and then I also like that lions. When there's a pack of lions, it's called the pride. So like we're the pride of America, and just mortgage loan origin training, and it's really, I won't say that's simple, but that's simple. Now we'll just go through it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you have if you need explanation, it might be the same thing as a question. Just ask. Sure. Okay, so So now let's do, and we'll do a lot of reading and literally stop me. All right, William. So, and Colonel, obviously embellish, add, be specific when I miss stuff, okay? Because I'm going to miss stuff. So loan lines, the pride of America, mortgage loan line training. So the document purpose, your context rules your life. So you want to look at a context, literally rules a person's life. When you're in the military, there was a context. When you're in a particular branch of the universe, that's a context. When you're a particular job, that's a context. When you're a particular ship, that's a I could go down the list, like context, context, context. So you could create a great life if you create context that work for you. Like I love doing comedy, and so I created a context called Thursday nights. It's what I do. I don't go do it throughout the rest of the week full time, but on Thursday nights, I get my comedy on. Jiu-jitsu, I go do 3 or 4 times a week. Mortgage business is like ongoing on and off throughout my life. So everywhere I go is a lead, literally. So the purpose of this document is to give you a context and pathway for winning in the mortgage business with the Loan Lion team. Loan Lions are lifestyle mortgage professionals. We love the mortgage business. We love real estate, and we love empowering people. We make a living making a difference in our communities. The goal, literally, is to live the life you want. So how does that happen? There's endless leads. There's consumers, there's realtors, there's communities that we're in. I'm in the jiu-jitsu community. I was in the PTA community. Like there's communities you guys are in the veteran communities. There's communities that we participate in that there's always leads around. Going to the supermarket, being friendly with the person at the counter is a lead, literally, potential lead. Lead source for sure. Closing loans. So loan lenders, that's a whole other world. We have all the lenders. So somebody coming in to play with us doesn't really need to worry about, okay, how do I, we help you do that. A-listers nationwide. So we're committed to being A-list nationwide. What does that mean? In simple terms, no jerks on our team, man. If somebody's a jerk, I'll train someone to not be one if they're willing to grow. But if they're committed to that versus growing, we might not be the fit for them. That's it's part of life. We definitely want to earn EDI. I call EDI excessive disposable income. Excessive disposable income. Why not? It's possible. It's happening. Why not? And then we want to master life. So practice living a fully functioning, self-determining lifestyle. To always be learning. It's important to always be learning. Enjoy your love for life and love everything you do. So that's the context of why we're like, at least why you're in my world. I'm going to say the Colonel's world, and William, I kind of get that from your world, but that's the world that we are and the world that we're creating for people, living the life that we want. So trainable, anything is possible if you're being trainable. So the Loan Lions, we provide the corporate structure, training, and resources needed to win in the mortgage business. The Loan Lion pathway is unique, it's proprietary, it's a system, it's created and developed to give you the lifestyle foundation required to win in the mortgage business as a career loan officer. I actually call it, and I have a program called Route 66, which basically learn how to earn 6 figures in 66 days. And I'm very clear about it. Learn how to earn. Sometimes people participate in things and what they hear is, oh, I'm going to get. No, if you're going to learn how to earn that. And there's really something powerful about once you really distinguish, man, I really can't have what I don't earn. Yeah, it's kind of, hopefully you learn that in elementary school, but sure, life goes on and people don't get it. It's like clicks in at some point. Oh, I get what I earn because I earned it. You could earn a lot in this business. The foundation, you must always keep training. So being trainable, that's practice. Those are distinctions that we go over in the core stuff. The 5 A's, what hooks you is you, always be learning, new combinations of language. I'll explain more later on that specifically, but how it applies is, you have a loan application. It represents a borrower. You have conditions on this side from a lender. You have to find that combination that just matches the combination. Every case is different, but the foundation is there. So being a loan line, you master your own market, so you know your market. So if somebody wanted to become a loan line with us and they're, let's say, I don't know, whatever state, we're like 48 states right now, and they get the NMLS license, we could set them up easily and we could do loans for them in that state. If it's commercial real estate, anywhere. They could do loans, I'm saying as a loan officer. You want to be relevant in your community. So it's important as a loan line that once you become relevant in your community, you get to a place where leads come to you. You want to get to that place where leads are coming to you. First, you got to go out there and get the word out, but it is possible to flip it where all of a sudden, oh, you're known as the loan guy in your community. And then, close loans daily. Doesn't mean you will close loans daily, but you have to think of, okay, well, my loans moving forward daily. Or not. If you don't, great, because the loans will be there the next day, especially if they're in the system. There's a process of pushing it on. So to be a loan line pride, you could only win big on a team. So loan lions, learn to lead with lions. Now, what that means is a lot of people can't be with other people that are great. A lot of people can't be with a lot of people who are leaders. A lot of people can't be with a lot of people who are self-determining individuals, powerful, that's a special group. It's like the colonel being in a room with 50 other colonels. That takes skills. And you probably can't even become a colonel if you can't be in a room with other colonels, because kind of colonels know it, like, or sergeant, your level, or whatever. I said level, I don't know if that's the right jargon. But you have to learn how to be with people that are, quite frankly, no way more than you or no way less than you. So that's part of, learning to lead with lions. Realtors, you want to build a team of lion realtors. Like I have realtor friends and relationships literally around the country. It took over time. A lot of them in the East Coast where I first, started. Some in the West Coast now. So that's all. So you want to have a team of realtors. And then consumers. This is my favorite, straight up, because you could own and control your consumer market like a pride of lions. There's no reason why you can't dominate your block. You can't dominate your county. You can't dominate your area. And as a loan lion, you might have people under you. So that's part of the things that we do here is we give people the opportunity to learn everything they need to learn. So if they want to stay with us, yes, please. Hey, thank you for sharing. I want to go somewhere else. Dude, I will empower you to go somewhere else, because the last thing we're going to do is have someone being in an entanglement or want to be and play with us. I'm not interested in relationships that don't empower each other. The commitment, you got to commit and then never give up. Doesn't mean you don't stop, you don't rest, all that stuff, but in the end, give up. So the base, your own training. I've raised my daughter specifically to really get that you're responsible for your own education. You can lead a person to training, you can lead a person to education, you could put someone through training and education, but you can't make them learn. You got to want that, okay, I want these distinctions so I could produce this result. And that's, everybody has their own style of doing that. Let me pause right here a second. Is there any questions, any thoughts, any comments you want to ask so far, or we're good?
No, well, so far I like it. I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything you're saying. So it's speaking to me, I guess, if you will.
Okay. All right, cool.
Keep rolling.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, like you said, keep going. Okay, so the base, your own training, always be learning, be fully functioning and self-determining. There's distinctions around that we actually distinguish for somebody, so they get, oh, no wonder I can produce that result. I'm not even functioning. I think I'm functioning, but I'm not. I'm doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Or a lot of people take a lot of action. I heard a term once, it was called, a lot of people take a lot of actiony actions, and they spend day after day taking actions. And at the end of the week, oh man, look at all the actions I took. But when you look around, nothing happened. So there's actions that you could take that are specific that moves the ball forward. And then master the knowledge. That's ongoing. That let me know when you get there, because you don't. It's a lot easier when you realize you're never going to get there. So it's like the integrity. Integrity is something you have to keep on creating, because it's not like you were so integritous one day that now you never have to keep your word again. Good luck. So structure, your physical tools, personal visual and written plan to kind of help people with that. As a person coming into this business, half the battle is having someone support that structure. What happens and one of the things that happens a lot in this business, probably happens in a lot of other businesses. Somebody comes into, first of all, you don't even get hired if you don't have any training. Or if you have mad skills in another area, you're a car salesman. Oh, this guy's a great car salesman. Let's try him in the mortgage business. but the two languages are like not even the same. But the guy's motivated, so you want that, right? So unless somebody's actually there helping you clean the path so you could structure yourself, a lot of people just go in crazy loops and then they quit, or they suffer for 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 until they finally, oh, I finally got it. You could have gotten it in the first month if you would have just listened to someone, or if somebody was willing to give you the distinction so you didn't have to go through the painful part. We give people the distinctions. I don't want, no one will ever say, hey man, how come you didn't tell me that? Because we tell you, I'm transparent. I like it that way. So you want to master some of the technology tools to win. So there's tools that we'll go over, CRMs, for example. A person for every element and your team. As you start creating your own team, you want to have, you kind of know, okay, who's my processor? Who's the underwriter? You start, in the beginning, you do a lot yourself because that's just the way this business offers opportunities. But then you could start putting, oh, I don't necessarily have to do this. I could get someone to help me do that. And that's what they do for a living. So it's great. Let them do that. I don't mind paying them this because I'm making even more now, where you're managing people producing the results that you need to be known as the guy that people want to give you mortgages. And then impeccable physical spaces. I am nowhere near perfected that, but I am absolutely always committed to that. Keep my car clean, keep my space clean, keep my room clean, make my bed, you know, all those things that just helps. And sometimes we get all cluttered out, but you know, and it's funny.
I can assure you, like many other veterans, I still live in constant fear of a surprise inspection. So been out for 6 years, but I still keep nice. Everything watertight.
Nice. So keep the water tight and let go of the fear, but that'll happen in time because that habit is fantastic. One of my daughters is like that, and the other one is only now finally swinging like that, and I'm like in the middle. So I'm like, okay, and I literally tell my other daughter, I need to be more like you. You inspire me, and I keep on following her. And then anyway, that's a whole other topic. Flow, your market, the people. So you're going to master managing conversations. I will assert that to succeed at anything, you have to have a mastery of the conversation that's moving the ball forward. Again, it's back to that. Why is somebody taking all these actions every day and nothing's happening? Well, they're probably taking these actions based on the same conversation, and the conversations could be things like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I can't do it now, I don't have enough time, I can't do it today, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, not now, later, and tomorrow never gets here. My daughters are literally at 12 years old, they already know, Dad, it's really interesting. It's almost like there's no such thing as tomorrow. I go, exactly. It's useful to plan, but you ever notice that tomorrow is always today? It's today. We are. Let's do it tomorrow. But then there's not like this thing tomorrow. It's today is always the day. But you could plan using that kind of language. But that kind of language could also put you in a state where 30 years go by and tomorrow never happened. You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
in perpetual motion, going the other way.
Yeah. Perpetual motion, and you're literally going the other way. So we master, managing conversations. We improve quality request, increase request quantity. I'll tell you what in a second what that means, and then take actions that make a difference, and then do over it. That's part of the flow. So there's a base you want to have. Like, what's my base? There's a structure. It's like, okay, let's say the base is the basement. The structure is the building. Now the flow is, what are you doing in the building? What does it look like? All these people coming in and out, the request, the quantity of things. And I will assert that if someone's not getting what they want out of life, it's a function of two things. It's the quality of their request and the quantity of their request. So if you're asking the janitor to make a CEO decision, good luck. Now, if the janitor is in charge of buying the detergents or whatever they use for janiting world, and you're selling that, yeah, I get it. Good. But if you're asking someone to produce a result and they have no connection to the result, that's a terrible quality request, right?
Right.
So it's increasing the quality, and then increasing the quantity becomes a numbers game. A billboard, if done right, or advertising, makes a lot of requests for a company, for an individual. So marketing done right is a request, and people are either responding or they're not. And there's, as we all know, there's corporations and people who do requests at a massive level. And a structure, social media is an incredible structure. A lot of people have their yeses and nos about social media. Personally, it's the best thing in the world if you use it right. And I'm not so quick to give the power to say that, for example, Facebook is the problem. No, Facebook, nobody's making somebody pick up the phone and go on Facebook. Oh, but they're addicted. Okay, I could get that. Then let's work on changing the education required so they use it as a tool and not be addicted. And I say that as a parent who deals with my daughters who had to train them. I didn't fight it. I trained them to be responsible for social media, not to be owned by social media. I don't know if I drifted there, but part of the flow, you know, your whole day could go by and you're like on Instagram and what happened? It's like, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. You were on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So conclusion, you must want an awesome life. So to be a lone line, you know, there's actually people out there who do not want an awesome life. They don't, and they will argue, debate, and prove you wrong. One of the ones that I've seen that's very common is how many people invalidate their parents for the life they have. Like it's their parents' fault that they're where they're at.
A lot of people do that.
Man, it's epidemic. Epidemic is the word. The word gets thrown around. It's distinguishable. Nobody has to be stuck with that. And quite frankly, one of my favorites is when somebody would say, "Well, me and my parents are dumb, and I'm smarter than my parents, and I didn't get the life I wanted because of my parents." And my response is always the same. It's like, okay, but let's really think about this. Your parents did a great job. Because why? Because you're smarter than them. That's the goal. You're saying you're smarter than them. I don't know any parent that wants their kids to be dumber than them. No. But you wouldn't know it because you're dumber than them. So, so I don't know if you would know it. And it's even questionable that you're smarter than them because you're validating your parents. They did the best they did with the education they have and what they knew and the time they did it and that era and that whatever. And here we are today. Do over.
Mama tried.
Yeah. Mama tried. That's funny. So you must want an awesome life. So money, you know, find something you love to do to make money. And the mortgage business is one of those areas where, you know, you can make a great amount of money. And by the way, anybody listening, just Google it. Straight up. Just Google it. Just search it. Go to Yelp or whatever. Find out, do research on making money as a loan officer in the mortgage business. And then health. I wore my little jujitsu thing today just to say, you know, find something you love to do to be healthy. Very important to be healthy. So our team, the people around us, health is a part of the conversation. If you don't like somebody talking to you about your health, you're probably not going to like me or like us, because even if I'm not saying it, I want you to know I'm thinking it. So at the end of the day, there's no reason to have an unhealthy life unless you're not changing some of the practices, some of the conversations you have. And everybody starts from wherever they start. Not to get into anything, but there was a point where I got to like 275 pounds after a divorce. And I was like, wow. I started doing jujitsu. I literally lost 50 pounds right away. I mean, within the first year, it went off like water. And now I just don't even, it's just not habits. I don't even talk about my health. I just do these habits and things work out, you know? I'm not in no diets, no. Anyway, so I'm doing something that I love to do to be healthy. And then love. You got to find something you love to create passion with. I think that's a big one because a lot of times people take jobs or do things for health and they don't get to create. There's no room for their creativity to show up somewhere. Yeah. So if you're lucky, all three are the same. And that's being a lone line. Like, how do you make all three the same? How you make money, how you take care of your health, and doing something you love. And this business, you know, is that opportunity. So I'll is actually have that conversation with what I'm going to say integrity, the kind of integrity I need with a veteran. Now I could have gotten promoted to veterans easily, right? But that's irrelevant. I needed to prove to myself that I was not off in what I've been seeing in the world, how veterans have been taken advantage of. Like, I'll give you an example. And this is like really far, like I don't know what people think. They never think I'm crazy, but I would assert that a lot of, aside from, people try to say it's mental illness or drugs or who knows what, PTSD, whatever, not whatever, like a throwaway, but homeless veterans, I'm going to assert somewhere along the line, they just got resigned, man. They just gave up. They just said, you know what? This is exhausting. I'm not getting what I'm worth. I might as well just do nothing. I get it.
I guarantee it's happened more than anyone would care to admit.
I get it. And then we're trying to find this quick fix to just throw it over here and give him a month. No, dude, this is like, recovery takes a good 6 months to a year, if not longer. But, I'd say if somebody's committed to transforming their life, you give me 6 months and they do the work, they'll be making money in the mortgage business. Give me a year for sure. So
Yeah.
I don't care if a veteran is literally in a shelter somewhere and they're struggling and they're but they got their senses to themselves, and they go to whatever training. There's no reason where online the person on the other side doesn't know where they live, what they do, nothing. And if they start doing VA loans to other fellow veterans, in 2 months they're out of it. So I don't even know how I got to that point, but that's what came out.
Now you answer my question. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Am I off, by the way? Checking with you guys. Would I just, is that
No, that was good, and sort of leads me to asking William, when you were on your way out of the service, what were you thinking you wanted to do as opposed to what you ended up doing?
Good question. Man, when I got out, I was obviously, I was looking for work. I need to continue to make money. When you get out, the day you get out, that paycheck that you've had for 6 years stops. And I don't know what the current, military policy on separation programs and stuff. There was a ton of stuff that I went through to try to prepare you for that transition. But I wasn't. I was not prepared for it. So I found myself taking what was there, and it was, for a long time, it was a live to work scenario, vice work to live, in a negative way. I didn't like necessarily my job. I knew I wanted to work in engineering. I love problem solving. It's the base of engineering, and it's something very satisfying to my life. But like Lewis has alluded to a few times, I felt like I was being shorthanded the whole time throughout the entire process for years. And a lot of that has to do with, obviously, a lot of enlisted guys coming out that don't use their VA benefits for their education benefits. I didn't. I am now, because it's apparent that it's foolish. It's so foolish not to do it, but some people don't. They just need to get out and find a job as quickly as possible. And that's where I found myself. And there was an uphill battle to come to the conclusion of literally this slide that's on the screen right now. Is I'd rather, I've made some money, I've done well, and with my resume and everything like that, I can get a pretty good job. I don't need that. I want money. Obviously, money, they say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a lot of things to make you pretty happy for a little bit, like money's great. But doing all those three things, money, health, and love, and it being I want it to be something that it serves me. I can't be of service if I'm not in this position. If I'm off center, if I'm angry or bitter, or I don't like my position in life, I don't like where I'm at, woe is me, I blame the Navy, I blame my family, like Lewis said. I can't be of service to someone if I'm like that. I need to be happy with myself. I need to be of service to myself before I can be of service to others. And that's so far, in conclusion from this slide anyway, is speaking to me. If that makes sense. Sorry, I rambled a little bit.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay. Let me see here. Assumptions. You know, having a great life is a lifestyle choice. So I'm assuming that you know this. And if you don't know this, you know, listener, I'm assuming you know this. If you don't know this, know it now. Having a great life is literally just a lifestyle choice. I know it sounds almost like that's not true. I go to these circumstances. I have lived in a box, and I can guarantee you I had a great time in that box. You can create whatever you want. It's a lifestyle choice. Okay. You're a licensed mortgage professional. So eventually you have to get your license. You could start all this training literally today, because the foundation we give is to succeed in that. But to be a residential loan officer, you do need to get your NMLS license, and we'll help you do that. And then commercial real estate is a whole other topic that we could do in leads right now, literally. So you could start doing commercial leads today, for example. You're willing to be a loan officer apprentice when you get licensed. So that's kind of like part of just training. You just got to be willing to be an apprentice and learn.
Yeah, be trainable.
Which I mean, you can't, if you can't put yourself as an apprentice, it's like doing jujitsu. You know, I could go on and on and on about what I've done before, but as soon as I step on the mat, I'm a white belt. And then now I'm a blue belt. And now I'm heading towards purple belt. But I'm nowhere near a purple belt. I'm not a brown belt, not a black belt. And honestly, I consider myself a blue belt in training. I'm not even a blue belt, even though I have a blue belt. You know, right. I'll know when I'm a blue belt when they give me my purple belt.
Right, yeah, right. That's a good way to think about it.
So, you know, well, I mean, literally, that's it. I'll know I'm a blue belt when I get my purple belt. It's like, anyway, okay. So, and you're willing to be a loan officer or apprentice for at least 1 year before originating. What I mean by that, that's not a hard thing to say, like a hard stop or a year, but you'll know when you're ready to actually spread your wings and goof off.
Okay.
Or not, you know, but there's just some basics. And a lot of the training and stuff here cuts to the chase of the basics. So that year, I say it, the reason I actually say a year is because I find that some people will take information and learn it in a month. Some people will take literally a year. Some people never do it. So it's like, all right, well, you know, I got it. But I'll tell you this, I'm whole and complete. Like I've had a couple of jiu-jitsu guys say, oh, I want to, you know, change careers. Really smart men. I give them whatever stuff. Some continue, some don't do it, some never. I go, and then when I see them again, I go, that's so good, man. You don't have to. Here's the good news. You now found out what you don't want to do.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing. Now you
at the end of the day.
Yeah. And the truth is, you haven't chosen that you want an awesome life as a lifestyle choice. You really, at least in this career, maybe in another career you're doing, and I don't know, you could be crushing it, you know, I don't know. And some actually are crushing it. And then you know how to ongoingly learn, fail, and win. You guys got to know that already. There's no winning without failing. I don't care what anybody tells you. Anybody that says they're always winning, I'm a winner, I've always been a winner, they're a liar. Because there's nobody that's actually an authentic winner that hasn't face planted somehow, somewhere, something.
That's when the troubleshooting starts.
Yeah. Okay, so prepare to hunt. Now this part kind of is continuing the presentation to give you now. Okay, so I decided I'm in. You chose, I want to do this. Right? Obviously, you've already said that, but do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to do this. So, okay, so
I'm in, man.
Yeah,
This is dope.
Yeah, so you're saying it. You're saying it to the colonel. You're saying it to myself. Yeah. So now prepare to hunt. What does that mean? The loan line lifestyle, you already have what you need. You actually have it. If the learning part, you know how to learn. The leads are everywhere. And then the leverage part, that's the part that we'll build more into. So mortgage loan basics, you need to learn some of the basics, what a 30-year mortgage is, FHA, jumbo, loan rate pricing, credit types, you know, take a written application, Encompass application. That's a software that's used, at least that's the one that we use, but there's other software, but Encompass is good. A lot of people use Encompass. A verbal or recorded application. What I mean by that is you get to the point that once you know the question so well, that I could have a conversation with somebody and I could say, hey, can I record this right now? Or not, I take notes, and you're literally taking all the information for an application. And look, the information is really simple when you actually get to it. What's your name? What's your address? Where do you live? Where do you work? What's your social security number? What's your phone number? What's your, I mean, it's like, once you get the fog out of your face, you're like, oh, what's your name? Okay, name. It's like property address. Okay, leads. Establish your lead base. You know, there's direct request, which is family, friends, associates, vendors, your real estate network. You know, earn realtor friends. Trying to own their hangouts. It's a good thing to know. With, you know, where do they hang out? Like, what's the going to open houses? Maybe the community. You get involved. Consumers direct, etc. I will say this: when it comes to friends, families, and associates, the biggest mistake that people do is torture them for leads. So I write, establish your lead base. So I don't ask my friends, hey, do you need a mortgage? I ask them and let them know, hey, if you know anybody that needs a mortgage, let me know. So then they're out there sharing my name, hopefully. And if they need a mortgage, they know, because I'm not asking them directly, but they know that I do it. And I find that most friends and family don't want to do loans with you anyway. They want to do loans with strangers. That's the way it goes. So it's a dead end. The return on investment trying to get loans from friends and families is very, and animosity gets created, all kinds of things, because they're thinking it's like a flea market. No, it's not a flea market. This is like, you know, it just doesn't work that way. You can't haggle. You can haggle, but, and then literally some people are forced to lie and they fib and they say all kinds of things. And I always have a saying, I go, if you can't handle the truth now, you're not going to handle it a lie later. So I just tell you the truth. Odds are I might not get the loan because somebody else gave you a better lie or something of some story. And then later on you come back and you go, oh shit, you know, you were right. I go, okay, well, next time give me the lead, please, or share the lead. Oh, they come back to me and then I do the business. It's just so much easier. Like Muhammad Ali. That's why I stay so pretty. There's no lies going on over here. Clean, clean, no wrinkles. People don't get it. The people literally ask me all the time, dude, what do you do? I go, I'm telling you the truth, man. My company name is Transparent Technologies. 20 years consulting under the brand name Transparent Technologies. What does that mean? It's transparent. It's a no-brainer. Okay, and then leverage. That's marketing and PR. You know, you want to develop your voice, you want to be authentic, want to be seen, heard, and known. Social media is, again, if you use it wisely, it's a way to stay connected, share content. It's very powerful. And then in-person meetings, realtor events, community events. Use what you love to do. Like literally use what you love to do. In your case, I'm sure there's a lot of veteran things you could go to and participate in, and you know, just gotta participate, man.
Yeah.
Okay, actions. Use everything you have. Loan line resources. You know, you watch webinars, get topic coaching, practice, continuously review and improve. Participate, prepare. You write your contacts list, your contact wish list. Write your pitch script. Practice, continuously review and improve. And then you hunt. You know, hunting never ends. I'm very clear that if you know that whole hunter-gatherer book and the whole methodology about hunters and gatherers, and I'm very clear. I'd be a hunter, and don't ask me to cook shit, and don't ask me to build anything, and don't ask me to. But if you want me to go out there and track that animal, nah, man, that's what I'm in. Let's go. That is what I will do. But don't expect me to cook it. It's just not gonna happen. You know, it's just not gonna happen. I can pretend I'm cooking it, but it's not gonna happen. I'm not the guy at the barbecue who wants to grill, man. I just don't want it.
You know, you're not standing there, huh?
I'm not standing there. So hunting never ends. Yeah, you want to make smart requests. You want to improve the quality of your request. You want to increase the quantity of your request. You want to deliver on the requests and promises, and then continuously improve. Never ends. And then you want to create your own loan line pride. So what does that mean? Like we're lions. We're our little loan line pride here, right? So as you're knowing all the angles of this business, you're going to have friends and people around you who you might want to start having that you're mentoring and working with, and they're under your, right? And then they're bringing in leads, and so it's a way of doing that. And I could help Colonel could help. What am I talking about? Do you guys know how to manage groups of people? So there's a management element here that's available when you're creating your own Lone Lion Pride. So that's planning, writing your plan, produce outlines, produce PowerPoints, review and improve the system, scheduling and time. I'm a big fan of and I'm personally up against it right now, is that reinventing things in my life, scheduling things in a way that, okay, I could commit and keep these promises. And as we get bigger and better, we're going to have these public coaching forums for, ideally in the near future, to, let's say it's 10, 20 people once a month or once every 2 weeks, where we have the Zoom and we actually do a training. So it's scaled, and then it starts scaling and people start learning, and then you go produce results. So there's, Gantt charts, there's coach and be coached, and then always review and improve. Notice I always do review and improve. I just keep that alive. It's who I am. It's part of my life. It's allowed me to be a great dad. It's allowed me to give my daughters, I think, a really good foundation to get that there's, like, really enjoy your years, enjoy 6th grade, enjoy 7th grade, enjoy high school. One of them is a math starter. The other one tries to get ahead of herself, and you could see the struggles when they're getting ahead of themselves. You're 17 and you're acting like you're 22. It's just good luck, I can't stop you either, right? I could only, and then she comes back. So it's a struggle when you're not really present to what you're currently dealing with and enjoying it, by the way. So results, you work your plan, execute a plan, win, fail, learn, win, review and improve, review and improve, review and improve. So the clause, I use the word clause because, lion in the claw. You ever see those lions when they put those claws in an antelope, man, or whatever animal is like, and then they go for the neck. It's like, and then it's like a jujitsu move. At that point, they're like and then no matter how big that animal is, this is it. Doesn't matter. So communication. By the way, I want to apologize to any listeners out there who might have issues with using animals, lions as lone lions, and some people might be sensitive to that, but I'm not saying eat lions, okay? I'm just saying that lions exist and they have a particular way of being in the world, and
it should go without saying, but yeah, I guess cover the tracks there.
Yeah, when I think I want to be responsible for that. I'm not eating lions. I don't think anybody here is eating lions. I don't plan on eating. I don't even hunt lions. I'm not into that. I don't get it. I don't know why people do. But whatever. So communication, emails, phone, general, text, Slack is a tool. Jungo's a CRM, Encompass. What I'm just listing here is just different communication tools that you have to learn in this business. Rate locking, social media software, realtor software. These are just things that eventually, to really get masterful at it and being able to have someone win, you don't need to know these overnight. You just need to understand that as you're always learning new things, these are some of the things you want to go and learn. And you're going to find the one that works for you. Branding, content, and materials. And there's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. These are Pinterest. These are all places you could literally free. You could promote yourself, literally free. If you want to do blogging, if you're a person who has a blog on something, you could do that. Videos, like I do the comedy. That's one of the things I do. I also have a website called Jiu-Jitsu Parents, which I'm pushing more, but it's for more marketing that. I have another one called Construction Realtors. So again, it's marketing that. And I have Professional Parents. So these are all things that are part of my self-expression that it's not effort. It's like, some people like to binge watch things on Netflix. That's not my thing. My thing is, like I said, jiu-jitsu and parenting and construction realtors and comedy. And media, that's kind of to be determined. Right now, from what I could tell, the best place, the only place, that's not the only place. I should say the only place, but really an undeniable place is social media, and then local news. If you could get in your local news, national news is a whole different ballgame. Russell's video came up, but that's okay. He's still there. So then execution, conversations, scripts, your personal scripts, schedules, calendars, Gantt charts, daily moving parts, the weekly base review, a monthly structure, seasonal flows, annual victories. What's an annual victory? Well, you want to, in this business, what's beautiful about it is you make your money, do your thing, whatever. There's a cycle. Okay, take a break, go on vacation. How long you want to go? What do you want to do? I don't know. It's up to you. Because you could be on vacation and still respond to people on the phone. I do it all the time. It's like no big deal. And then I know that going into November, the holiday season, I enjoy my holiday season from November to New Year's. So, and then there's still deals and things and happening, but I'm not suffering. I'm enjoying Christmas, man. That's what I'm saying. So, but those are annual victories, and then the events you go to, and you actually get to participate in that world, or not, with the choice that you decide if you're going to go. You don't have to go to anything.
Right.
So choose. So this is where you get to somebody, and yourself, William, and I would ask whoever's the person on viewing this. I am a lone lion. I'm the pride of America. Like, I consider myself a lone lion. I'm the pride of America. And I start writing my goals and plans, which I have and continue to do and improve. I choose my lone lion clause. What are the tools that I'm using? I ask for support. I have coaches that I also use, like people coach me, ideas, examples. There's always ideas all over the place for content, and you create your own personal lone lion lifestyle, whatever that looks like. And you got to master yourself to be a lone lion in the world. I mean, you really ultimately, as a person, listener, viewer, you could count on us, me individually. I think these guys individually, that you, I'm always going to pull you back to what's your source. And it could be anything. It could be religion. It could be not religion. It could be a teacher. It could be your family. It could be your wife. There's a feedback coming back. I think that was God talking to me, saying, "Hey, man, you better just say me." Whatever that God is for you, is a source, and you got to master yourself in that world. When people ask me what's your source, I to this day the way I say it, I'm going to say God, but I just say I answer to life. I love answering to life. Like, I walk into a room.
I get that. I couldn't
If
agree
I'm
more.
not, if I'm not breathing, okay, what's off with me that I'm not breathing in this room? I always check with me first. Okay, I forgot to do that at home. I didn't make a phone call. Whatever, something I would handle it because I'm not present. And then, but if I walk into a room and I'm like, well, the people around me, if they give me life and I give them life, I'm not talking always perfect. I'm just saying that there's life I get out of it. I breathe better. And that's one of my clues. I'm breathing better. I'm laughing, smiling. I see possibility. I see opportunity. I am not a fan of suffering. Suffering is like 1980s. I don't know why people are still suffering in the year 2020. But hey, it's happening. As tough as we think the world is, it's not. It's been worse, and it's getting better. And we're going to keep that arc of the Charters of Freedom of the United States of America as an example of how freedom actually works. I don't care who the president was, who the president is. We the people, we got to act like we the people. and I think there's enough people doing it. I just see it as an opportunity. I just don't see the negative is an opportunity. And you either participate or you don't. I participate. I went in a little, sorry guys. And then, yeah, so declare, I'm a lone lion. So I'm a lone lion. So it's kind of like you want to declare yourself a lone lion and choose this kind of game. But you've already done that. So, and obviously Russell's here. So we're lone lions, man. That's the fun part. You got to have fun. Yeah. Some corny guy might say, well, that's corny. I go, well, good for you, man. You know what? You root for the Raiders, don't you? What are you talking about? Last time I saw you, you had like all this kind of Raiders on your face. What are you talking about? I had a side note. I had a friend who I coached. He passed away already, unfortunately, at a great age. He passed away. He lived a great life, and he had a daughter who's like a daughter to me, and he would be upset with her because she would carry this doll. Carried this doll. It's like a polar bear, and then my daughter also had one too. So we're best friends, and they're still best friends. It's like 9 years old, 10 years old, and he goes, "Don't you think it's kind of old that they still have these guitars? I'm sorry, these stuffed animals, little polar bears, and they want to take him every go. It's kind of it's not good. It's not healthy." I said, "Man, really? 9 and 10 years old?" I go, "You got like 75 guitars that you don't let go of in your house. And you're like 80, dude, please." And he got it. He goes, "You know what? I get it." I go, "Dude, that's like, let it go. Choose your battles, man. A stuffed animal ain't it." Anyway, so I'm a lion. I love it. Okay, the hunt. Follow your plan. This is quick part here. Follow your plan. Every day counts. Always be learning. When in doubt, read your plan. Listen to your futures call. Choose an action that moves your goals forward. Call a coach or we talk or whatever. Stay empowered. Listen to your futures call. One of the things that I do, we've done in training and development is we'd have a conversation to create a future. Like, what does your future look like? Like a possibility. And you want to record those calls because they get real in a conversation, but then we forget right away. So you got to put the structure in place to fulfill the future that you say you want for yourself in your life. I want to be a black belt. I put a structure in my life. I go to jiu-jitsu. I actually go and compete. I'm 57 years old and people think I'm crazy competing at 57 years old. I'm like, okay, thank you for sharing. But that's what us lions do, man. It doesn't have to be, it could be anything, anything. Go do yoga, go walk, hike. I don't care. But your futures call kind of reminds you. And one of the things that also inspires me to stay healthy and straight up, especially during this COVID situation, excuse my Cuban accent there, this COVID situation, a piece of data that stuck out for me that blew my mind. It's like, and don't quote me somebody like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, I'm just a guy with opinions from what I hear in the news and different places. It's like 80% of the people who either die or get COVID or some correlation are obese. There's obesity involved. So man, that scared me straight. And then I have friends who say, well, you're not really obese. I go, thank you, but I ain't buying that I ain't really obese. Oh, but you look good. Thank you. But I'm going by what the professionals say. And if I look at my height and weight, I'm obese. Okay. I could lose another 20 pounds because technically my body is obese. Yeah, but you should talk to a doctor. I hiked with a doctor, which I won't say his name, but you know who he is, though. I hike with him all the time, 2 or 3 times a week. We roll once in a while. And he tells me every single time, you got to drop that 20-30, man. You got to drop that 20-30. And I go, thank you for reminding me that. It's easy to fall into the illusion of, oh, but I look good. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm obese.
I can fool myself real easily in the mirror. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah. So, so there comes a point where you will choose, and I'm going to say really blunt, are you going to live or are you going to die? And if you're going to live, you will take action consistent with living. And how do you know you really mean that? Because you're taking actions consistent with living. Anyway, that's this is not meant to take the thunder out of. Yeah, but that's what lone lions are. By the way, it's actually great that this kind of came up because we're winning, man. But we're winning by producing results. Now, so pipe dream stuff. Okay, that's it. From east to west, lone lions win. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So to wrap this up, I'll be quiet. I appreciate the generosity of your listening and doing this presentation. What are you left with? What do you think is next? What's there?
You're asking me, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. My question is, what's next? That's, like you said, what's the next action that produces something, an effect? Let's do something that makes something. I'm in. This is great. It's exciting for me. It's yeah.
What's
I like
the exciting part about it?
Exciting part about it for me as a veteran is, like I said, is my time being mine. That is valuable. That's sacred, even. Because without time, you can't live. So that's what excites me, is being in charge of my own destiny, to be cliche about it.
Yeah, no, that's great. Cliched, yes, but not when there's a legitimate career, business, future that you could actually take this path. Here's what we're not, but yeah, this is not this is not like, hey man, go do Amway and nothing wrong with Amway to the people that make millions, God bless them. But all that stuff that people do, This is a viable, legitimate. You could go be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a realtor, you could be a mortgage guy, you could be, construction, developer, website nurse, PA. I mean, film direct. I mean, you could go down the list of all the things that you can be.
Right.
This just happens to be one of them. I'll bet this one against most of them dollar for dollar what you can make time-wise. For example, if you put in your mind that you're going to make at least 0.5% on every $1 million of mortgages, you make 1%, quite frankly. But let's say you're a fair person. You're making, for every percent, you're making $10,000 on $1 million in loans. So just, anybody does the math. There's some guys.
You're not hurting my feelings, man.
Okay.
Is that what you're trying to do?
No. So it's real money and a real career that's respectable, and you're in charge of your own destiny.
That's huge.
Legitimately. Yeah.
And I can speak for a lot of veterans when I say that's the end game. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Veterans I served. I did my service. Now I want, I want to be able to live the best life I can after my service. And this is exciting to me. I like it. I'm a lone
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right, so
this can open up that vision that you're talking about, because I mean, it's just, you get a chance to see family, you get a chance to do what you want to do. And the big thing is, you're not asking somebody else, can I?
Couldn't say it better myself.
You making the decision of when, you want to do something. If you want to do something, you can go visit family, and like, Lou said, you can be on your laptop and take care of business. You can be on vacation and take care of business. I've called him up and he says, oh man, hey, look, can I call you back? I'm with my girls and I'm going to do this. And I'm okay. Well, all right. You've been with your girls now for 2 weeks. When are we going to talk? So, it's you can't beat the flexibility of this business in order to still earn a very respectable income and still be able to give quality time to family. Now, I mean, usually the quantity is not relevant to the quality.
Sure.
But then sometimes, there are people that want more of your time than just, a little bit. So you're going to have to balance that, of course. But, if you truly want to be able to get up in the morning and your office could be down the street or your office could be in the next room. It's how you want to do it. It's what's going to make you feel empowered. It's going to make you feel in control.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. All right. So to be continued, and that's it. So I'm going to consider this call complete.